Hello, in this video we're going to build a rock, paper, scissors game. So we're going to use MakeCode Arcade, one of my favorite platforms because it has so much that simulates the real development process. But we're just going to call this rock, paper, scissors. You can call it whatever you want. Your own project. And this is the simple idea of rock, paper, scissors is that each player has a move, one move, and they have three options that they can choose in their move: rock, paper, or scissors. So we're gonna try to make that game into a computer program by thinking about how we can turn those actions into code. So we're going to use the blocks here at first, and then at the end we can look at the Python and the JavaScript that's been generated. But we're going to start with this on the A button pressed event. So this is in the controller panel, and it's an event that we can run code on the button press event. There's a couple different things we could do when it's released or when we repeat, but for now we're just going to use our code here. Now when that happens, we want to do something. So the first thing we want to do maybe is let the computer choose one of its moves: rock, paper, or scissors. So we need to have something that's going to hold the variable information. We need a variable to hold the information. So if we go over here, a variable is just something that we create. And this, I'm going to call this the robot move, because this is going to be the move that the robot makes. And then we have a nice handy block where we can set the value of that variable. So let's think about this. Every single time we press the A button, we want to do a new turn, a new move. So we want the robot's move to be different each time. So for that, we can use the random function, which is here under the math one. And it says pick random 0 to 10. We can actually change that from 1 to 3. So now you'll see 1 to 3 will give us a move for the robot every time we press that button. So that's a good start to our game. We need to now think about what are we going to do, how are we going to know, and how are we going to react to the robot having different moves, rock, paper, or scissors. So in that, we're going to use our logic, because if you remember here, all of our choices are in logic. So we can set up what's called a condition. If something is true, then I run this code. And in this case, what we want to be true is we want to see if this robot's move is 1, 2, or 3. So I can come back over here to my variable, and I can see this. This is whatever that variable will be. The value will be stored inside of this block. So I can do one more thing inside of logic. They've got this great equals. So here I can just say I want my robot's move. If it equals 0, then we're going to run some code. And then I can actually duplicate this because I want to do this a couple times because he has 3 moves. So I'll duplicate it to the third one. And I'll change this to 2, this to 3. Oh, I forgot to change the first one. So if every time I press the button, the robot move is going to get a random number 1, 2, or 3. Then from that, I can then decide how I will react with my code. And in this case, I want to show something on the screen because rock, paper, scissors is no fun unless you have something that you can actually show on the screen. So I'm going to set up our screen by going over here first to our scene and set the background color so it's something other than black. So I'm just going to make it white here. And what I'm going to do to show you how to show something on the screen, I'm going to use a sprite. A sprite is basically just a holder for anything we want to show on the screen. And I'm going to create one here at the very beginning when we start our game. And I'm going to actually make this, you'll hear the dogs barking here. I'm going to make this a new variable. I'll call it robots move image. Now, we're going to set it to nothing at the start, but then every single time that we have a move, we're going to set a different image. So if I go over here to the left, you'll see that on the sprite, I have another option down here towards the bottom that says set sprite image to. So that's a pretty cool one. I can copy and duplicate that 3 times. And there we go. Now that means every single time that this goes, oh, actually I need to change this from my sprite to robot move image. So you see we're setting up some simple logic here that if robot move, which is going to be random here, equals 1, we're going to show some image. If it's 2, we're going to show another image. And if it's 3, we're going to show another image. Okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear out our image every time we press. Then we're going to put a little bit of a delay in. So if we go to loops, we can put a pause in so that this is just for when we play the game. We'll give ourselves 1 second pause. So every time we press the button, it will clear out our image, and then it will give us 1 second pause, pick a random number, and then it will show a different image. So let's start with our rock image. So if I go here, this is the part where you guys can send me better images, and I can show you how on another video to share these images with me. But for now, I'll do something simple. I'll make a rock here, and I'm making it, let me make it bigger than 16 by 16. I'm going to make it 100 by 100, so it's quite big. So it almost fills the screen. And I'm going to make my rock first here. It's not going to be the prettiest rock. Like I said, I think you can do a lot better than me. But this is going to be my rock, and I'll color it in here with its color. And maybe I'll put some little highlights on there to give it a little rock shape. So this is going to be the rock when the robot chooses rock randomly. And then paper, I think I have a better idea on paper. So let me do 100 here and 100 here as well. And for paper, I'm just going to do a square. I'm going to do it in white. And I can then color that in as well. And maybe we'll put some lines on it, like as if somebody was maybe writing some text on there as well. Okay, that's rock, that's paper. Now we just need scissors. So I'm going to change this also to 100 pixels. And I'm going to, for scissors, I'm going to use the circle tool here. And I'm going to, let me see what I can do for maybe 1, maybe 2. And then I use the line tool, give myself some, maybe going out there and maybe going out there. And maybe I can also create a base, maybe with a nice color here. Color it in yellow to give it a little bit of a pop. And there. Old-timey scissors. So we have 3 images, and we have 1 variable that gets set. Let's see how our game plays. Let's try push button A. 1 second delay. Oh, okay, we're off the side of the map, and this is common when we're writing code. So we need to come here and find there's in the sprites, it'll say set position. So that's what we need here. We can set the X position. So on the left-hand side here, going across is our X position, and going down is Y. So I can say here, robot move image, set our X position to 0, and set our Y position also to 0. And that should help us out a little bit here on our positioning. If I got my sizing right. Yes. Okay, we can move it down a little bit. But there, he played scissor. There we go. He pauses and rock, scissor, rock, 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 paper. Okay, the paper's not showing up because we have white background. So there's another little bug we can go back and fix. So let's change our background to something else, not white, but maybe this pink color. And I'm also going to change, it's going to move it over a little bit. So let's say 10 over, and let's move it down 20 pixels. Now let's see what that does. There, that moves it over a lot better. That's our rock. That's our scissors. Scissors, rock, scissors, rock, scissor, paper. Okay, so we have our rock, paper, scissors game completed with just those few lines of code. We have some things that go on the onStart event, and they set the background color, move the robot, set the robot move image to nothing, clears it out essentially. And then, but the most important thing here is we're creating this variable that is the robot move image. And then we're setting it on the screen in the right position. And we're also going over here to our other event on the A button. Then here we're resetting our image so there's blank. We're pausing for 1 second just to give you time to throw it out with your hand, your own play. And then we're picking a random move for the robot. It could be 1 through 3. And depending on which it is, we're going to show that onto the screen for the user. So I'm going to go here to the JavaScript, and you'll see here that all of what we wrote here is actually code. So we have an event, an A event here, and these things just run on start. All the things that we put in the onStart events, they just sit out here, and then this is the code that goes inside when we click the button. But what's cool is we can go into one of these, and we can see that this is the image of our rock. So if I wanted to share this, all I need to do is copy this here, and if you're on a stream, you can share that with somebody else during the live stream. For right now, I can just come over here and show you that if I put that here into, so you can see here that there's my rock. It's the way that it shows. It's just been transformed into something that the computer can understand. It's a drawing of a rock, but it's turned into these letters that actually show the computer how to draw it. If you come over here and you do share code, that actually sends the code to us during the live stream, and so we can share our code with each other. We can use it to debug. So I can then go over here and find that, and I can clear this out. I can load it up, and you'll see here that this would have been my code. I can copy that in, and on the live stream, I can use your image for the rock, the paper, or the scissors. So I encourage you to try this out for yourself and see if you can add some new features to the game that I never thought of. Oh, we